What is fear? Emotions play an important part in our daily lives. Fear is one such emotion that is pre-programmed into all animals and people as an instinctual response to potential danger. As for what fear is, biologically speaking, when a person experiences fear, certain areas in their brain, such as the amygdala and the hypothalamus, are immediately activated and appear to control the first physical response to fear. Chemicals such as adrenaline and the stress hormone cortisol are released into the bloodstream, causing certain physical reactions such as rapid heart rate, increased blood pressure, tightening of the muscles, sharpened or redirected senses, dilation of the pupils to let in more light, increased sweating. People who have experienced this will often remember the moment when disaster struck and how time seemed to slow down. They knew exactly what to do without consciously thinking about it. They had great strength. Some even have been able to lift a car to save their trapped child, and they felt no pain. All these are protective mechanisms to increase our chances of survival. There are numerous causes of fear. Some are better known than others, such as the fear of spiders, fear of blood, fear of heights, and fear of exams. Others type of fear not so well known are fears of mirrors, fear of hair, fear of being tickled by feathers, and fear of work. Still, new causes of fear are being diagnosed. Diagnosing fear. What is fear? Fear is not always adaptive. A small amount of fear before an important speech serves a purpose. It encourages you to focus on your topic and avoid making a fool of yourselves. This is one of the types of fear that can be useful to sharpen our minds. However, some types of fear that are excessive can become crippling or even make you feel like escaping when it's not appropriate to do so. When fear gets out of control or when we fear something that cannot actually harm us, it can escalate to a point where it affects our daily functioning. Fear is no longer adaptive if we find we are constantly afraid of events that haven't happened yet. Future oriented fear is known as anxiety. While fear happens at the moment danger arises, anxiety is characterized by apprehension because we don't know what's going to happen next and we cannot control upcoming events. Experiencing an alarm response when there is, in fact, nothing to be afraid of is known as panic. Many people are familiar with this type of fear and is often, although not always, accompanied by phobia. Panic is an immediate physical response to unrealistic and irrational fears. This can have a huge effect on both your emotional and physical well being, as well as your ability to reach your full potential. What causes fear? While it is important to be aware of potential and real threats, it is just as important to react appropriately to them. For most of us, our initial startle response to situs as soon as we realize that there is no actual threat or danger. However, there is not always the case. There are many people for whom fear becomes maladaptive as they struggle with anxiety, phobias, and panic attacks. Children are also at risk of overactive fear as they are not always able to rationalize fears that are unrealistic and or unfounded. What is fear like for children? Children experiencing fears and phobias feel very real threats, and parents often have difficulty consoling or reassuring their child that there is actually nothing to fear. Childhood anxiety can have a negative impact on their healthy development and may predispose them to problems in later life. Common causes of fear in children. When a child grows older, especially around the age of 2, fears that were never an issue before suddenly rear their ugly heads. At the age of 2 and above, most children now know what it's like to be injured, scolded, or even lost. One of the major fears in children is the act of being separated from his or her parents. Fear of separation is common for both toddlers and school-age children. This is due to them being left at the babysitter's nursery or school, while some children fret over their parents' departure and return. Others may fear their teachers, surroundings, or other children. Most of the time, this fearfulness with others will subside as children start to spend more time with their teacher and classmates. Another fear in children is fear of the dark. Fear of the dark is usually one of the biggest and hardest fears to conquer in children. Children usually have this fear until their school age years. Fear of the dark resonates differently with age. While younger children may be fearful of monsters lurking in the shadows, older children may fear burglars. Most families find it beneficial to leave a light on at night, with gradual reduction happening over an extended period of time. Help for fear. There are a number of natural, herbal, and homeopathic remedies that can help with overcoming fears. Fear becomes a problem that needs to be addressed when it turns into anxiety, panic, or phobias. Herbs such as Melissa officinalis, Lavandula augustifolia, Camoli, and Passiflora incarnata are just a few examples of natural approach to overcoming fears by reducing stress, calming the nervous system, and relaxing a fearful mind. Many natural remedies for fear and anxiety combine a number of calming herbs to achieve the best results for overcoming fears and addressing all the different symptoms of a panicked response. When we talk about fear, we talk about how fear sometimes constricts us from moving on or growing stronger. This is one of the topics I want to talk to you guys about, that fear is not necessarily something you should worry about, but you should acknowledge and use it as a strength builder. Because fear, it's like trying to tap into the future. You don't know your future. That's why you must act now in the moment to grow stronger. Don't let fear constrict you in anything you do. So hopefully this topic that we're talking about can help you realize what fear is and how you can use it in your benefits. So with that being said, it's your boy Jason Yamamoto, and I'll talk to you guys later. Breathe.